Welcome back. If this is your first time joining us, earlier episodes in this season explore identity, passwords, boundaries, and the very real experience of security fatigue. But wherever you're joining from, you're most welcome here. Today's episode is called News, Outrage, and the Security Attention Trap. Welcome back to Quietly Secure, the podcast about digital privacy, personal security, and staying informed without getting overwhelmed. In the last episode, we talked about security fatigue. That feeling of simply being tired of caring. Today, we're looking at one of the biggest reasons that fatigue exists. The way security news reaches us. Because if you follow technology headlines for long enough, it can start to feel like the internet is constantly on fire. A massive breach, a terrifying new scam, a device that's suddenly unsafe, a warning that everything needs to be changed immediately. And yet, most people's daily risk barely changes from week to week. So why does it feel so urgent all the time? This episode is about the security attention trap, how news, outrage, and algorithms shape what feels dangerous, and how to stay informed without being pulled into constant alarm. Security stories spread differently from ordinary news. They combine three powerful ingredients: uncertainty, personal relevance, and fear of loss. When a headline says a company was breached, your brain immediately asks, was that me? Even when the risk is small, the possibility feels personal. Media outlets and social platforms also reward strong emotional reactions. Calm explanations rarely travel as far as urgent warnings, so stories become framed around worst case scenarios, not most likely outcomes. The result is an environment where rare events feel constant. Modern platforms compete for attention, and attention responds strongly to threat. A headline that says minor vulnerability patched quietly doesn't travel very far, but millions at risk right now does. Over time, this changes how risk feels. We begin to confuse visibility with likelihood. If we hear about something often, we assume it happens often. But many security incidents are highly technical and limited in scope, or already are being mitigated by the time they reach the news. This doesn't mean threats aren't real. It means the emotional volume is often turned up far higher than the practical impact. And constant high volume leads directly to fatigue. There is another layer to this. Online outrage isn't always about danger. Sometimes it's about belonging. Sharing warnings, reacting strongly, or amplifying fear can signal awareness and responsibility. People want to protect others. They want to feel informed. But outrage spreads faster than nuance, and when every story is treated as a crisis, listeners lose the ability to tell which risks truly matter. Eventually, everything feels equally urgent, which means nothing feels actionable. Escaping the trap doesn't mean ignoring security news. It means changing how you consume it. A few quiet shifts help. First, delay reaction. Most genuine security risks don't require action within minutes or hours. Waiting a day often brings clearer explanations. Second, Look for practical impact. Ask yourself, what would I actually need to do differently today? If the answer is nothing, the story is likely informational, not urgent. Third, trust baseline protections. Modern devices and services patch problems constantly behind the scenes. You benefit from fixes you never hear about. And finally, limit your exposure. You don't need a constant stream of alerts to stay safe. Periodic awareness is enough. Security improves through steady habits, not constant monitoring. Being informed doesn't mean knowing every incident. It means understanding patterns. Scams rely on urgency. Accounts need strong recovery options. Updates matter more than headlines. Once you understand the principles, individual news stories become much less stressful. You stop reacting to noise and you start recognising the signals. And that shift changes security from something reactive into something calm and sustainable. The internet will probably always sound more dangerous than it actually is, not because people are trying to mislead you, but because attention naturally amplifies fear. You don't need to follow every warning to stay safe. You don't need to carry constant concern. Good security lives mostly in the background, supported by habits and understanding rather than headlines. In our next episode, we'll step back again and look at staying quietly secure in a changing world. How digital security has quietly improved over time, even when it doesn't feel that way. Until then, stay curious, stay calm, and stay quietly secure.